A city kissed by sun, shaped by sea, where palms sway and waves shimmer, proud and vibrant, cultural and colorful. But tonight in Miami, it's not the heat, it's the colors. The maize and blue, the gold and garnet, Harbaugh and Jimbo, Jabrill and Dalvin. One side, 1 yard short of a spot in the playoff. The other, one night to prove they belong in the elite. Who is disappointed? Who is determined? Who builds for the future? Who squanders the present? Wolverines, Seminoles, the Orange Bowl. The time is right.
Adnan, thank you, and welcome everyone to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. And they have banged out the building here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Kind of a cool night for the local folks. 60 degrees. They sold standing room only tickets for the Orange Bowl, which has been played annually every year since 1935. The Michigan Wolverines, they come in ranked 6th in the nation. They finished the season at 10-2, 7-2 in the Big Ten. And this is about a 7-hour drive from Tallahassee. There's no question, the 11th ranked Seminoles, they're the home team, officially and unofficially. And with that, we say happy early New Year's Eve. With Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. What a way to kick off the New Year's Six. When you think about it, Florida State, Michigan, the Orange Bowl. This sounds big, and we anticipate a classic matchup tonight.
Yeah, blue blood programs at one of the best bowls that's ever been around. Great teams, great figures on these teams. Jabrill Peppers, Dalvin Cook, a team in Michigan that has really struggled towards the end of the year, losing 2 out of 3, and Florida State, which is really getting hot, having won 4 games to end their regular season.
Literally, I have just been told, and I mean literally, Jabrill Peppers will not play tonight. We saw him in warm-ups. Looked like he was nursing a left hamstring, both in the locker room, and this word just coming officially now, Jabrill Peppers, one of the critical players on this defense, the most versatile player in the country, out tonight for Michigan.
Well, and you see the frustration in him in the warm-ups. It sounds like something happened in practice a week ago. How this affects Michigan. We were so excited to see this matchup between Jabrill Peppers and Dalvin Cook. Speed against speed, playmaker against playmaker. Michigan right now literally has to make these adjustments. Noah Furbush is the backup to Jabrill Peppers, not the same kind of player.
Chief Osceola and Renegade are on the move. And here come the Seminoles of Florida State. Finished super strong down the stretch, winning 6 of their final 7 games. A tough loss to Clemson. The only mark there after starting the season 3-2. Here come the Wolverines. As we in the country digest that Jabrill Peppers news, and I have to think that Dalvin Cook's life just got a whole lot easier tonight. Cook, by the way, was asked about playing in this game. He said it never crossed his mind not to play. He's the best running back in Florida State's history, and Todd McShay grew up 5 minutes from here.
And he has more than 30 people here, friends and family, and he's just electrifying. I'm excited to watch him tonight, and Michigan obviously now has a bigger problem on his hands. You're talking about an All-American, unanimous All-American, and a guy who has led the ACC in rushing each of the last 2 years. In addition to that, he can catch the football, so there's a lot of different ways that they're going to try to get the ball in Dalvin Cook's hands. I mentioned electrifying. It's because of the lateral agility and the ability to explode off of his plant foot. If there's a small crease, this guy's going to hit it. He's going to hit it faster than any back in the country. And then he has the ability with the top-end speed to turn the corner. A lot of inside runs. He bounces to the outside and gets big gains. And then here's the passing game. Matchups. Watch the matchups tonight. Who is Michigan going to try to use to cover this guy? I think they're going to put him in the slot. They're going to use him out of the backfield. The screen game. A lot of different ways to get the ball in Dalvin Cook's hands. And I think that with the news on Peppers, they'll even look to increase the load from Dalvin Cook.
Some people have said, should Peppers deserve the Heisman Trophy? The argument against was, he's not even the best player on his own defense. And that's how good that Michigan defense is. Kermit Whitfield is back. Kenny Allen to kick it away. And the New Year's Six Bowls are underway. Here's Keith Gavin, the true freshman. And we'll get our first look at that offense for Florida State. DeAndre Francois, don't forget, he's a freshman, the ACC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I think he needs to continue to withstand the pressure. He's been hit more than any quarterback in college football. He's got a little bit of a shaky offensive line on the right side. He's got to do it one more time. He's got to be able to make tight man-to-man throws. We know Michigan is going to play predominantly man-to-man. He's got to make those throws, and then he's got to find Dalvin Cook, not just in the running game, Steve, but 5 to 7 times throwing the football.
So I wondered when Michigan knew Peppers wouldn't play. When did Florida State find out Peppers wasn't going to play? From the 25, Francois comes out throwing and connecting with Kermit Whitfield down the sideline for the big gain, and that's a open the game. Delano Hill forced him out after the gain of 23.
You get a good start for Francois. He's still a redshirt freshman quarterback. Jimbo Fisher wants to get him out, get him on rhythm. And right off the bat, we see it's not Noah Furbush that's replacing Jabrill Peppers. It is true freshman Josh Metellus, very talented player, but just a true freshman.
Second offensive snap. Francois throwing and throwing it away over Dalvin Cook's head. Let's take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, we think there's going to be a great matchup to watch on the left side of this offensive line. Roderick Johnson going against Taco Charlton, 2 first-round draft picks. That'll be a great matchup. Then the other matchup is that man-to-man we talked about. Jordan Lewis, one of the best pure cover corners in college football, against the playmaker for Florida State in the passing game, Travis Rudolph.
Rudolph said it was a dream to see man-to-man coverage, but in that dream, he's not open to see Jordan Lewis or Channing Stribling. Here's Dalvin Cook, first carry of the night, and he's inside the 40-yard line of Michigan before Hill brought him down after the gain of 13.
We talk so much about Dalvin Cook and the speed to the outside, and it gets lost that he's 215 pounds, Todd, and he can run between the tackles.
He does. He actually...
Full back in there is Freddie Stevenson in front of Cook. There's Cook on the left side. First down and plenty more. Inside the 20. Devontae Thomas made the tackle.
This play sprung by the right tackle, Rick Leonard, who comes across in the formation. He's right here, and he's going to get the block on Taco Charlton. This is the favorite play, the counter play, and Dalvin Cook, you give him that edge, and I'm surprised he didn't put it in the end zone.
I would say this has been an impressive opening drive, but that's an understatement. Bringing an extra offensive lineman now. And hand it off to Cook, and he's in. Touchdown! Seminoles on the board first. Ricky Aguayo on. Florida State has made 299 consecutive points after touchdowns. Make it 300 consecutive extra points for the Seminoles. And Florida State, they strike first and make it look easy. Michigan and Florida State both playing in their 45th bowl, and the Seminoles get off to the great start, march down the field 75 yards in just over 2 minutes, led by Dalvin Cook. He's 1 touchdown away from tying Warwick Dunn for the most in school history. He already has the most rushing touchdowns in Florida State history. Looking for the overall mark. 7-0 Seminoles. Logan Tyler will kick it away. And it will bounce out the back of the end zone. Seems like an eternity ago that Wilton Speight threw his first pass of the season. It was intercepted. He's bounced back nicely, told us the shoulder's good to go.
Well, it's been a while since he played that Ohio State game, but certainly it's still on his mind. He needs to put it behind him, move forward. Don't lose the aggressive approach that he had towards the end of the season, but do respect. This is the best pass rushing team on third down in college football. They lead with 47 sacks.
Wilton Speight has not won a football game in some 2 months. Looks to figure that out here tonight. Khalid Hill is the fullback. Davion Smith is the tailback. And the jet sweep to J.U. Chesson. Tries to turn the corner. Maybe gets a yard before Jacob Pugh got to him.
Take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players. Jake Butt needs to have a big game tonight. It's Florida State without 3 of their starting safeties. He'll be a matchup nightmare. Amara Darboh has led the team in receiving and has played at an All-American level. But DeMarcus Walker figures large in getting pressure on Wilton Speight, playing his last game for the Seminoles.
Chris Evans is out in the slot as Speight to throw. Speight to run. He's in trouble. Able to get it down to Jake Butt. And Butt has first down yardage. Matthew Thomas made the stop. See the mobility of Wilton Speight.
Yeah, he just has enough ability to get outside the pocket and extend plays. And you know, we mentioned those 3 safeties out. Derwin James went out early in the season. He was probably their best player on the back end. But then they also lost Nate Andrews, outstanding player. He tore a pec against Miami. And just recently in practice, Erman Lane broke his foot. So both teams have lost secondary players on defense.
Hand off to Smith. Nothing doing. Pushed back for a loss by Derek Noddy. That Nate Andrews injury, the pectoral injury, actually took place right here in this stadium in that game against Miami, the 1-point victory.
So guys, if you're Florida State, you've got to be pleased with how the defensive line's playing early on. Marcus Walker on that completion from Speight got pressure on him and quickly, and then that last play, stout versus the run.
2nd and 10. Here's Speight to throw. Knocked up in the air and nearly intercepted. Tavares McFadden, if he would have picked it off, would not have been a surprise. 8 interceptions this season, tied for most of the FBS with Rasul Douglas of West Virginia. Yeah,
great job by McFadden. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, ideal size for a corner. DeMarcus Christmas almost gets there, but all of these balls that McFadden, a lot of them this season have been because of the pressure that guys like DeMarcus Walker, Josh Sweat, Brian Burns get on the quarterback. And if they can do the same to Wilton Speight, there will be opportunities for McFadden.
Yeah, the top sacking team in the nation is Florida State. So here they come on 3rd and 10. Speight able to get it away, but could not hook up with Jake Butt.
And a frenetic start for Michigan. And you get the sense that they need to settle down. They need to find some leadership, both sides of the football. Their defense got run through first series, and now Wilton Speight, that ball came out way before it needed to, already feeling the effects of this stout pass rush.
Kenny Allen is the kicker and the punter for Michigan. He stands at his 20. Naquan Murray at his own 25. Allen will put it in the air. What a punt. Murray has to go all the way back and then muffs it. Loose football down at the 1. And rolling into the end zone. It's going to be stopped out at the 1. It is Michigan's football. DeMonte Thomas on it. He'll be marked down at the 1. Naquan Murray muffs the 61-yard punt.
What a kick from Kenny Allen. First and foremost, no way Nooney Murray should even try to field that ball. You tell him to stand on the 10-yard line and let the ball go over your head. I think the problem was Murray lined up on the 20, and it was such a good punt that he didn't know where he was on the field. Just tried to field it, and great hustle by DeMonte Thomas Sparks, Michigan.
What a break for Michigan. Watch for Khalid Hill here. He has 8 one-yard touchdowns this season. Speight hands it off to Davion Smith, and his world was rocked. He was just blasted by Matthew Thomas.
Right up the middle. There's Thomas, and a miscommunication up front on the offensive line. And that's reminiscent of Jadeveon Clowney in the Outback Bowl from several years ago.
That's how you get some people hurt. After what just happened to Florida State to come up with that defensive play on the first snap after the quick change. 2nd and goal. Spate to throw. Pressure. Open man and just overthrew J.U. Chesson, who looked like he was running forever.
It's great design, and the play comes wide open late. But Wilton Spate again feeling pressure, had to throw it before he wanted to, Todd.
Yeah, and they moved the pocket on purpose to his right, and then the throwback. It was a great play design. Chesson's open. Almost seemed like a rusty Wilton Spate there on that throw. Just entirely too much air under that ball.
He's hesitant. He's being real hesitant and careful right now not to make a mistake, and can't be as effective as you want to be a quarterback playing that way.
3rd and goal from a 4.5. Spate with pressure. Throws underneath. It's complete. It's Chesson, but he's shy of the end zone. Matthew Thomas dropped him down at the 2. What do you want to do here, Coach?
I think he's got to kick a field goal. They got to get some points on the board after getting the ball on the 1-yard line. But what a stand by Florida State defensively. Matthew Thomas makes the big play on 1st down. And this defense, talk about growth over the course of a year. You have a defense that is playing its best football.
There's Kenny Allen for a chippy. This will be a 19-yard field goal attempt. And he'll never have an easier 3 points. Michigan on the board. Dalvin Cook and the Seminoles get the football back when we come back in the Capital One Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl coaches luncheon took place yesterday at Jungle Island. The event featured hard-hitting questions from my two partners. James Conner got the Capital One Orange Bowl Courage Award. Barry Alvarez headlined the Orange Bowl Hall of Fame class. And Hank Goldberg, our old pal, the Hammer, was also honored with the Edwin Pope Media Award. Cook's out there. He's split up. He's top of your screen now. He has 2 100-yard receiving games this season, Dalvin Cook. And he's their 2nd leading receiver. And they're looking his way. And there he is, Dalvin Cook. That ball hung up forever, and Cook still able to beat Mike McCray for the big catch.
Well, you give Jimbo Fisher credit. He saw Jabrill Peppers is out, so after the first drive, he isolates his fastest player, Dalvin Cook, and see who goes out there. And Mike McCray's 250 pounds. There's no way he's going to run with Dalvin Cook. Great job.
I'm surprised he stayed with him as much as he did.
45 yards on the gain. Cook has 85 yards of offense already. And Francois will be crashed down to the 30-yard line.
Well, he's in a bind, right? Because who are you going to send out there? Now, you got Josh Metellus, who is in for Jabrill Peppers. He's a true freshman. You want to put him out there on the Dalvin Cook? Don Brown has to make, the defensive coordinator has to make adjustments. He plays man-to-man coverage. That's what he loves to do. But now you got to make some adjustments, and you got to protect a guy like Metellus, maybe play a little bit more zone.
There's Don Brown, who is looking forward to our best against their best, except his best is not in the game tonight. In case you're just joining us, no Jabrill Peppers for Michigan. Here's the pressure. Francois didn't see it, but he felt Taco Charlton. And Francois is down.
Taco Charlton goes 275 pounds, and DeAndre Francois has taken some big hits this season. But you see, here he comes right off the edge, unblocked. A pressure from Don Brown, whether it's Leonard or whether it's Dalvin Cook. DeAndre Francois expected him to be picked up, and he wasn't.
Francois started every game this season, but he will watch for at least one play now. That is Sean McGuire, the 5th-year senior from Sparta, New Jersey.
And he started 5 games last year, Steve, and comeback win against NC State. Went back and forth with Everett Golson and played admirably. 392 yards in a Peach Bowl. They lost that game, but he's got a lot of experience.
Steps into a tough spot on 3rd and 10. They'll play it safe. Hand off to Dalvin Cook. He nearly got everything he needed. He'll be shy. Delano Hill made the tackle.
Shame on you for saying that's something safe when you give it to Dalvin Cook.
Right.
Anything can happen.
The good news for DeAndre, he was trying to check himself back into the game. Didn't realize it was 4th down, and they were taking the offense off the field.
Maybe that's a problem, too.
Yep, maybe.
Going to try a field goal here. Here's Ricky Aguayo from 42 yards away. Aguayo, just not a problem. Florida State, defense, offense, everything working. Francois takes the big hit. We'll wait for the next time Seminoles have the football to see his status. Michigan offense when we come back. TV. Michigan trailing by a touchdown, led by their head coach Jim Harbaugh. Doesn't it feel like he's in his 7th year? It's only the 2nd year.
Well, you get, the whole offseason of him too, so that's
Right.
why it seems.
And Jimbo Fisher, the head coach at Florida State, he told us in the next 2-3 years, the Seminoles could be as good as they have been in his run here.
I found
they're pretty good right now.
Yeah, this year with him has been fascinating to me. The big loss to Louisville, close losses to North Carolina and Clemson, and he's been pushing the right buttons with his young team. Gotten to a point now where they're playing good football. And this team came 6 inches short from going to the playoff potentially, and they have to take this to the next step. It can't be a consolation here. It has to be an opportunity, and they've got to get something going on offense.
Spate able to step up now in some more trouble. Spate back at the 30, got it away to Davion Smith. And again, the mobility of Spate buying himself some time and very close to a first down.
I think it's less of the mobility, Steve, and more just awareness, right? He's not making anybody miss, but he's keeping his eyes downfield. There was no way that this ball should have gone to Davion Smith, but he found it.
They go quick. They give him the first down. Here's Davion Smith again. And he'll pick up about 3 on the play.
This is a big drive in this game, and it's early in the first quarter, but we've had such a frenetic pace back and forth, turnovers, long runs. We've had guys out of the game, and now this thing is going to settle down, and which team is going to start to assert itself? And now Michigan has an opportunity here in plus territory.
Karan Higdon is checked in as the single setback there. The fullback is Henry Poggi, and 2 tight ends. Florida State said they were looking forward to playing big boy football, old school football. A team that goes with 2 tight ends. And Spate could not connect with Amara Darboh. In fact, DeMarcus Walker said it's going to be like Dick Butkus against Jack Lambert. I was so impressed that a college kid knows who those 2 players are. That's respect.
Knows his history, right? And that's the kind of game that Florida State should want to play. When you have injuries, 3 safeties out, you don't want to play nickel. You don't want to play dime. You don't have enough guys back there. So the question coming in this game is, will Michigan spread them out or continue to do what they do, which would be playing right into Florida State's hands defensively?
3rd down and 7. Michigan is yet to convert one. Spate sets up the screen of Davion Smith. Nothing doing, and it is DeMarcus Walker who's taken off of the end zone, but they're going to say he was down as the whistle had blown. But on cue, DeMarcus Walker makes the big play.
Walker's talented. He's a great pass rusher, 2nd in the FBS this year in sacks. But what I love about him is the instincts. You don't see many defensive linemen that have the ball awareness and ball recognition that he has as quickly to figure out screens, also to locate the ball in the run game. You see that all year long from this guy. Really impressed with DeMarcus Walker.
The thing that impressed me, Todd, was the leadership. And we talked with him yesterday, and he was almost in tears because he knew he was playing his last game for Florida State.
Kenny Allen puts it in the air. And it'll be downed at the 6-yard line. Worst starting field position of Florida State is the 8. Here's Francois throwing deep. He's got a man wide open. It's Murray. Murray down the middle of the field now. Naquan Murray. atones for his earlier mistake. It's a 92-yard touchdown. Seminoles.
How about DeAndre Francois? How many hits he has taken this season, and to continue to get back up off the mat and to continue to keep his eyes downfield and take these big shots. And Nooney Murray is an emerging star in college football.
Here's Aguayo for the extra point. That took all of 14 seconds.
We talked about Don Brown and how much he likes to just play straight man-to-man coverage. And I think they've made some adjustments because they haven't had Jabrill Peppers, one of which is playing zone. Here's Devontae Thomas, and here's Jordan Lewis. Watch how Jordan Lewis plays a two-deep zone. They're going to be outside, and they do not communicate and let Nooney Murray run right by. Jordan Lewis is not playing man coverage. That's a zone look. Miscommunication, bust in coverage leads to a huge touchdown for Florida State.
I'm impressed with the young quarterback, Francois. Redshirt freshman, how quickly he was able to diagnose that cover two look and get the ball up. There was no hesitation. Once he saw the safety not over where he needed to be and the cover two look, he put that ball up, and great touch throwing the ball down the sideline.
When you have somebody with the speed like Nooney Murray, you know you can throw it as far as I can. I just got to put air on it, and he can run under. That guy didn't have a real big arm, so.
92 in the air, right? The only reason Michigan has their 3 points is because of that muff punt. He makes up for it in a big way with the longest touchdown catch in Orange Bowl history. Good for 92. DeMarcus Walker comes up to make that tackle, that time on Chris Evans.
And you talk about the elation on one sideline, and here's the other sideline, Don Brown and talking to Devontae Thomas. They've got to get that worked out in the secondary if they're going to play zone.
Hey, could that first quarter have gone any better for Florida State?
I don't think so.
They get the news early. They don't have to deal with Jabrill Peppers. And then put up 17. And the longest touchdown pass in Orange Bowl history. Well, it's all gone right for Florida State, at least after they kicked it off. Prior to the kickoff, Renegade gave Chief Osceola a hard time there, Grease.
You were talking, I was watching this live, and I started seeing him going backwards, and pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to go for Chief Osceola. He's still got the spear in, though.
That looked like McShay in Wyoming on his horse.
Watch it, Levy.
2nd down and 9. Give is to Evans, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Noddy made the stop. And speaking of Charles Kelly, honestly, how much preparation did they put in for Peppers and the Wildcat? Like, how much of their quality time did they spend working against Peppers?
I think he'll take it. He'll sacrifice all that practice time for not having to tackle him in the open field.
3rd down and 8 upcoming. Again, Michigan is yet to convert on 3rd down. That's Smith, top of your screen. And Spate to throw. Under pressure again. Gets out of there and dumps it off. Able to connect with Darbo. And it is a 1st down. Levanta Taylor had the coverage.
Great movement in the pocket again from Wilton Spate. And there's not a guard on Michigan's team. Kyle Kalis can't block DeMarcus Walker. Previous series, it was Bredesen. When they bring DeMarcus Walker inside, he is getting to the quarterback in a hurry. And that's tough pressure because he's right in front of Wilton Spate.
So is that mobility? I've said 3 times Spate showing mobility, and you correct me every time.
Instincts.
It looks mobile to me. There's Eddie McDoom, as you might be able to tell from the crowd. And after the whistle, oh yeah. Tack on 15. Trey Marshall got busted.
Personal foul for the 20 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Yeah, it was pretty clear McDoom was out of bounds. He's out of bounds, staying out of bounds, and I'm not sure what happened there with Trey Marshall. He knew better than that.
The only thing I'll say is McDoom, Marshall was getting blocked, and McDoom did go to make a move back inside after stepping out of bounds, but it was clearly the right call and a penalty. I think Marshall maybe just was questioning whether McDoom was able to get out of it.
Throw it on first down. Here's Spate. Checks it down to Jake Butt. Butt will take some people on, has the first down, and he crashes down at the 6-yard line. Trey Marshall and Matthew Thomas, and their Butt is in some pain.
Oh, Jake Butt went down holding his right leg.
There's the thumbs up as he heads off to the locker room. The star tight end for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he's made so many of these plays in his career, and just got Trey Marshall, got him low, and at the same time Thomas got him high, and that could have been a lot worse. I was real happy to see him get up and walk off the football field, the senior captain of Michigan.
And actually away from the camera, he was actually running up the tunnel. So that was also good to see. We always love this from Jim Harbaugh. That formation. That's Evans in motion on first and goal. And Evans going to take a loss. Westbrook again.
Great job by A.J. Westbrook. You can come out all the fancy formations you want, but ultimately you're going to have to get in a football formation. Charles Kelly had Westbrook coached up. Do not lose your leverage when 13 McDoom is in the game, because there's a high tendency of speed sweep.
First red zone trip. Resulted in a field goal earlier. And here they are at the 10. On second and goal. Spate to throw. Back of the end zone. Too far for Darbo.
That's the third or fourth ball we've seen that Wilton Spate has had an opportunity to make a play, and the ball's been off target. He's had a couple of them to Darbo, had a chance for a touchdown after the punt fumble, and that's another missed opportunity.
It's also interesting, too. This is the area of the field, the red zone, that they like to use Jabrill Peppers the most. We've seen early red zone struggles. Have to keep an eye on it.
How about the shoulder? Little chalk any of that up to the shoulder, all the misses?
I don't think so. He's looked fine throwing the football in practice.
Here's third and goal. Spate firing, and it's dropped. Looked like Darbo had it and couldn't hang on. Bring up a fourth and goal.
There's something going on with Wilton Spate right now. His accuracy's not there. He made this play in the Ohio State game in overtime. Remember, he steps up, sees Darbo open in the back of the end zone, just throws it behind him. That's a play Michigan has to make. I don't know if it's the shoulder or if it's not having Peppers or if things haven't gone his way, but he's got to find a way to fight through it.
28-yard field goal on the way for Kenny Allen. And Allen is responsible for all 6 of Michigan's points. Levy, Greasy, McShay, wishing you all an early Happy New Year. We kick off the New Year's 6. And Florida State's in a good way, up 17-6 with 9.5 to play here in the first half. Kenny Allen will boot it away. And it'll go out of the end zone, and the Seminoles will go back on the offense. I mean, what a start for Florida State here on second down and 10. Dalvin Cook breaking away. He took a big shot, but not until he got out to the 46. DeMonte Thomas brought him down, gain of 11.
It's the speed. It's the speed through the hole of Dalvin Cook at 215 pounds for him to be able to burst through and then get past the linebackers, and he's on the safeties so fast. You see a lot of backs covering Miami Dolphin football. That's an NFL back if I've ever seen him.
I'm very impressed with him. You know, he's a local kid from Miami.
Miami Central, yeah.
On first down and 10 after the marker. Oh, high snap. Francois able to corral it. Now throwing down the sideline. And we'll check for another marker. Not coming.
That was the matchup that they wanted. Jimbo Fisher matched up his fastest and best player, Dalvin Cook, on Ben Gideon. Gideon's a great linebacker, but can't run with him. And Gideon got away with a little tug. That right arm holding back Dalvin Cook. That could have easily been called.
Ben Gideon, one of the leaders on that defense. On 2nd down and 10. Florida State's across midfield and looking for more with a 17-6 lead. Francois throwing, and he just misses his target. Jordan Lewis on the coverage at Kermit Whitfield.
I thought it was interesting talking with Jimbo Fisher about DeAndre Francois. Obviously, he brought up the toughness, but he's coached this young man really hard. And in Jimbo fashion, he coaches some of his best talents his hardest, and because he wants to get the most out of them. And DeAndre Francois has never avoided that hard coaching, has always listened and continued to grow throughout this season.
Don't be fooled by that 169-yard passing total. 92 of that came on one play. He's hit just 5 of 13. On 3rd down and 10, he's on the move. Francois will take off. 1st down and won't take a hit. Runs out of bounds.
Offside, defense number 73. Penalties decline. Play results in 1st down.
This is the kind of things that DeAndre Francois can continue to add to his game. He hasn't been known for this season. He only has 189 yards rushing. He's been mostly a pocket passer, but you see, Todd, the athletic ability to get out in open space.
And there's going to be more pressure on Francois moving forward because Michigan's done a great job of loading the box and with their gap integrity of shutting down Dalvin Cook since that fast start.
16 yards on the run for Francois. This time he'll give it to Cook, and he'll take one of those losses. Chase Winovich made the tackle for Michigan. Loss of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 12. Cook's going the wrong way in that department after that loss. Now needs 14 rushing yards.
Another pressure look from Michigan. Eight guys in the box.
Here they come. Pocket holds up nicely, and Francois completes the pass to Travis Rudolph, his top receiver. Jennings dribbling, forced him out, gain of 8 on the play.
That's pretty. I mean, I love watching quarterbacks that throw on time and on rhythm and don't have to have a receiver wide open to get a completion. And that time, DeAndre Francois throws that ball perfectly positioned for Travis Rudolph to make the play even in tight coverage.
3rd down and 4. Good shot at Jim Harbaugh watching. 14th play of this drive.
This is where Michigan has to account for Dalvin Cook, not just in the run game, but in 3rd down passing as well.
I was going to say this is where they have to hold him to 3. On 3rd and 4. Too strong off the fingertips of Rudolph. Brings up a 4th down.
Oh, and that's the first play call I didn't like from Florida State. You know, that's tough man-to-man coverage to run a quick out like that to the field. That's a long throw against tight coverage, and Michigan gets a stop.
Took a double shot there. Winovich got the best of him. Looked like Francois came up wincing a little bit. Francois's got his own shoulder issue, we were told. He's been dealing with over the course of the season. So a 38-yard field goal attempt for Ricky Aguayo. He's already hit from 42. And the Seminoles look to add to their lead. And Aguayo splits the uprights. Make it 20-6. What a half for Florida State. Leading 20-6. Hoping to hear from Jimbo Fisher. And we will. Todd.
Coach, get off to a fast start. what was going right for you offensively?
Well, I think we mixed things up, hit some big plays, moved the pocket a little bit, got him some time, and he was hot. And then we popped a couple good runs, kept good balance. We got to get back to that. They're doing a good job up front. They're good on defense. We knew they're going to have their moments. We're going to have ours. It's got to be patient and stay at the game.
Got to ask, what were your thoughts when you found out that Jabrill Peppers wasn't able to play in this one?
Nothing. I mean, ain't got time to worry about now. We're going to call the game the way we're going to call it anyway.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach.
Score at halftime of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl is 20-6 in favor of Florida State. Stay tuned for Adnan, Danny, Jonathan, the Buick halftime report right after these messages. Welcome back to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. We are one half into the New Year's Six. And a happy early New Year's. Along with Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. Todd McShay will join us shortly. So look, the night started when you think about Jabrill Peppers being out of the game. The half ends with Jake Butt leaving the game. So there's their best defensive players from Michigan. Full marks to Florida State. But Wolverines only down a couple touchdowns here at halftime.
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns, but the first half was dominated by Florida State. Michigan has to make adjustments in the locker room at halftime. I'm not as concerned about Don Brown and those adjustments. I think they bottled up Dalvin Cook after that first drive, but it's the offense that's really been stymied. Give credit to Florida State defensively. Michigan was averaging 41 points a game coming into this game, 6 in the first half.
And Wilton Spate, something's up. You mentioned with him, we thought Michigan could take advantage of the injuries and inexperience in that Seminoles secondary, and that was not the case in the first half, with Spate going just 10 of 19 for 60 yards passing. But Michigan will get the football to open up the second half, trailing by 14. That kick will go out of bounds.
Wow. Not the way Florida State wanted to start this second half.
Break for Michigan, down to the field, and the aforementioned Todd McShay.
And I talked to Coach Jim Harbaugh from Michigan, and he was really positive. I asked him, I said, how do you get things going offensively? And he said, we did some things, Todd. We got to pick up some twists. We need to do a better job, more consistent job with their inside twist game and pass protection. He goes, we also got to hit some open throws. He goes, but we're going to be good. We'll be good.
After the penalty marker, they will start at the 35, so some good field position to start.
Well, and those two things are tied intricately together. They have got to protect the interior of this offensive line if Wilton Spate's going to throw.
And the handoff to Karan Higdon. And that's how they open up the second half. Gain of about 3 on the play. And I mean, you can't overstate this enough. Peppers and Butt, best offensive, best defensive players now. We're obviously looking for updates, and any information we'll get to update on both for you. We will.
Well, two of the best players in college football. I mean, you just don't replace that kind of production. Offensively, we're seeing more from Henry Poggi. We're seeing more from Ian Bunting, Ty Wheatley, Devin Asiasi at that tight end position. They've got to step up.
Off for Higdon on the pitch. And he is slammed out of bounds for a loss of 2. Roderick Hoskins. And maybe this is a glimpse to the future. It's obviously earlier than Michigan wants, but they're going to lose those 2 guys. Yeah. And they're going to lose 18 senior starters, Michigan is. They've got the next wave coming, but they were hoping not to have to see him until next season. And not the second half here. Here's 3rd and 8, the big play in this game.
Here's where we're going to see whether that interior of that offensive line in a 3rd and long situation can hold up against DeMarcus Christmas and DeMarcus Walker and company.
Here's Spate to throw, and complete to Ian Bunting, and he has the first down. So all of a sudden, a couple of 3rd down conversions for the Wolverines.
The same play they converted to Ty Wheatley. Just gonna, so what we call a little Hank route. Just goes up there, hooks over the center, and gets the first down.
One thing we might be seeing here in the second half too is that they might be relying, the Wolverines, on their size over trying to utilize speed. There are a lot of multiple tight end packages as usual, but even on that last play, only 1 wide receiver on the field and have a few fullback tight end types.
2 tight ends here, Todd, on 1st down and 10. Asiasi and Wheatley both in there now. And the give is to Smith. Up the middle.
Todd, I think one of the reasons why an offense would do that is to be able to protect the interior of that offensive line. They've struggled there, and if you bring in a couple extra tight ends and fullbacks, you can help the interior of the offensive line.
Smith replaced by Higdon. 2nd and 5 coming up on a drive that started at Michigan's own 35. 8th play of the drive. Fake the jet sweep and give it to Higdon. Loss on the play. It's DeMarcus Christmas makes the stop.
We've watched Derek Nottie grow up before our eyes alongside DeMarcus Christmas, just a redshirt sophomore, probably one of the most talented athletes up front on this defensive line for Florida State. Everybody coming back outside of DeMarcus Walker. If they can find the leadership and continue to grow, guys like Brian Burns, Josh Sweat can take over in the leadership role. This is a defensive front that can be good for years to come.
3rd and 6 after a couple of conversions. Underneath, Darboh not going to get to the yellow line for the first down.
Yeah, credit Kyle Myers, the true freshman safety, coming up and making that stop and forcing a 4th down. And I don't think Jim Harbaugh thought about this decision very long. He's going to go for it.
4th down and 3. Pivotal moment in this game, even though there's 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
This is where you really miss Jake Butt.
They send Smith out, top of your screen. Spate throwing, and it's caught complete. It's Ian Bunting. Boy, you look like Jake Butt right there coming down for the first down catch.
Well, Ian Bunting had something to say to me, right? Jake Butt out of the game, 6'7", 252 pounds. And he says, look, I just need the opportunity. These are the plays that are called for Jake Butt. Give me a chance, and I'll make a play for you.
And you see, the very first thing that Harbaugh said to me coming onto the field was, we've got to pick up the twist game. We've got to adjust. Offensive line did a great job of communicating there to pick up the twist in the interior, and that gave Spate time to make that throw.
Big time throw and catch, gain of 21. Here's Spate. Gonna take off and go into the slide. It's their 3rd trip to the red zone. I don't know if you call the first trip a trip to the red zone. They started at the +1, but they've only managed a couple of field goals. They need a touchdown here.
And maybe more than anything else. Yeah, Todd made a great point, picking up twists, this confidence of the offensive line, and then Bunting stepping up at this drive. More than anything else is helping out the confidence of Wilton Spate. He was at an all-time low going into halftime. He needed to get something positive going.
I thought you were going to say all-time low coming out of the Ohio State game.
Well,
said he was remorseful, but it sharpened his focus, and we're seeing some of that here opening the 2nd half. Pitch to Smith, cuts it inside, and he'll take a loss. He's dropped down at the 12 by Jacob Pugh.
And guess who else there too? Matthew Thomas. I mean, if you don't get a hat on Matthew Thomas and let him run sideline to sideline, you're not going to outrun him. And that time Davion Smith brought up for a loss. It brings up a difficult 3rd and 10 here in the Reds. This is as hard as it gets on 3rd down and long when you get a constricted field. This is where you expect something like a slow screen, something safe.
Now we've already seen this 4-down territory. Spate doesn't feel the pressure, and he's drilled from behind by Josh Sweat.
Great coverage downfield. He had to hold it an extra minute, extra couple of seconds. You see great coverage. Missing 3 safeties, and then you isolate Josh Sweat on Ian Bunting, and yeah, Ian Bunting makes a great play in the pass game to catch that ball on 3rd down and get a first down, but you can't block Josh Sweat one-on-one.
So the loss after the sack means it's not 4-down territory, and Michigan will take 3. 37-yard field goal there. Follows the 9th tackle for a loss by that Florida State defense. But Michigan's not going away. They trail by 11. Beautiful shots here in South FLA at the Capital One Orange Bowl. Florida State leading Michigan by a score of 20-9. Kenny Allen will kick it away. And Kermit Whitfield will just down it in the end zone. Both quarterbacks are feeling the heat in this game. DeAndre Francois started 4 for 7. He's only completed 2 of his last 11 passes for 8 yards.
These are the kind of games where you're happy, nice up here, comfortable in the booth. Not taking any of these hits, man.
Well, this is the Dick Butkus game. Dick Butkus, Jack Lambert game the players were talking about. Real football, as they call. Now down the field, a beautiful throw. Excellent double coverage on Murray. Thomas and Lewis in the neighborhood.
What a beautiful throw, a beautiful play all the way around. Great throw, almost an unbelievable catch by Nooney Murray, and then a great play by DeMonte Thomas to come over and break it up late.
And Florida State's offensive line's doing a nice job. Really just the scheme, the protection scheme. They're doubling up on Taco Charlton, number 33. Michigan keeps trying to move him around to create a one-on-one matchup, but they're not going to let it happen. After that first big hit, they've done a nice job of bottling up Charlton, who's one of the best pass rushers in the country.
Murray and Francois hooked up earlier for a 92-yard score, the longest touchdown pass in Orange Bowl history. Here's Francois on the run. And throwing, intercepted, picked off by Mike McCray. Did he get there? He did. Touchdown. Michigan's first touchdown of the game comes on defense.
Been smart with the football all game long. He's taken his shots. He's thrown the ball away when he needs to. But DeAndre Francois makes the mistake so far of the game. His 7th interception on the season, and it's a huge one for Michigan.
In a 5-point game, looks like they're going to go for 2, Todd.
And Wilton Spate ran all the way off the field. He was celebrating. They had to go track him down and get him back. Coach Harbaugh finally got him, just sent him in. He'll be fine with the play clock, but he's fortunate.
Yeah.
In the final minute of play here in the 3rd quarter, a drastic turn of events. Spate to throw, and it's knocked away. Marquez White knocks it away from Darbo, and it remains a 5-point game.
DeAndre Francois has extended plays and made plays all season for Florida State. Here's Mike McCray. He's going to bluff like he's blitzing, and then he's going to drop out. And it's not a question of whether DeAndre Francois saw him, because he clearly can see him when he's coming out here. I think he thought he could get it past him to Dalvin Cook. A critical error from DeAndre Francois that puts Michigan right back in the football game. And it's also worth mentioning that those 2-point plays are Jake Butt and Peppers territory. And without those 2 guys, they may have to go to their 3rd or 4th option on the 2-point conversion.
Allen kicks it away, and it will go out of the end zone. Yet another touchback. Comes out firing, and a strong throw to Travis Rudolph. Jordan Lewis the stop. Gets back the penalty yardage.
Jordan Lewis has had an outstanding season, but he has not had his best game tonight. He's been beat several times. Once downfield, he fell down. He's fallen down a couple times. Seems like he's had trouble with his footing, but too much given up there on a 1st down by Jordan Lewis.
And yet he told us he was the best dancer on the team. Different kind of footing. That's how the 3rd quarter, the Capital One Orange Bowl, will come to an end. What a wild night. On and off the field, before the game and during. 4th quarter is next. Welcome back to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. Been a memorable 3 quarters already. Can't wait to see what the 4th has in store for us. See Florida State, that goose egg in the 3rd quarter. They ran 9 plays, 0 first downs, total of 16 yards. And we'll see what they have in store for us here in quarter number 4. You see Francois, how he started, and really nothing doing since then, including the pick 6. That has Michigan right back in the game. Francois in trouble there, and he's dropped to the 14. Mo Hurst brings him down.
Yeah, and Mo Hurst he's having as good a game as DeMarcus Walker is. He's lined up on Minshew, the left guard, and you see the quickness, but you also see the hands and the use of hands. And Francois definitely fumbled that football. It was out before he hit the ground, and lucky he recovered.
So the 4th quarter starts the way the 3rd quarter went on for Florida State's offense. Now 3rd and 22. Hand off to Cook. Has a seam and a crease and then some. Has the first down, has the sideline. 1 man left to beat. And he is just pushed out. Just taken out of bounds by DeMonte Thomas. Got just enough of him. 71-yard run by Dalvin Cook.
What a luxury on 2nd and 20 to be able to turn around, hand the football to Dalvin Cook and get this. Great effort by DeMonte Thomas. Did he get him out? Boy, it's close, but that official in great position. The side judge, great position to see that left foot of Dalvin Cook, and he makes the right call.
Bill LeMonnier telling us by an inch. Is it a half an inch? A quarter of an inch? A sliver?
I mean, this is what makes this kid so special, is you get him 1 crease, and I don't care if it's 3rd and 20.
So, Grease, on 3rd and 22, where they're thinking about, all right, let's get some reasonable field position for the punt. They're not thinking about getting the first down by handing it off to Cook.
Hey, listen, if I had him on my team, I would think he could get it any time. Just give him a crease. You know you're going to have a good situation because they're probably playing the pass. If he just gets to the 2nd level, he can make guys miss.
Cook will get a breather here. Jaquez Patrick is in the game. And Francois will use him as a decoy. He's down inside the 5.
It's just a simple counter play. It's their favorite play. You know you're going to get him to the 2nd level because the defense is playing pass. Jordan Lewis misses a tackle. And Metellus, because he hadn't played a whole lot in substitution for Jabrill Peppers, is a little bit out of position. And when you're a little bit out of position on Dalvin Cook, he makes you pay.
2nd and 1. This is the first red zone opportunity for Florida State since their opening drive. Think about that for a second. On a 2nd and 1, they should have enough.
But you think about, Michigan thought they had them backed up inside the 10. They're going to get great field position off of a punt, and just like that, Florida State's threatening. Just go in for a touchdown.
We're going to have to update that Dalvin Cook graphic about where he is on the rushing yards list.
But a huge opportunity here. Michigan gets a stop and force a field goal, keep this a 1-score game. This is a huge red zone possession.
And Cook is not in there right now. Patrick is. 2 tight ends for Florida State on 1st and goal. Hand off to Patrick. His first carry of the game. And he's stopped by Matthew Godin for a gain of 2.
If I'm Jimbo Fisher, I'm getting Dalvin Cook back in the game. Not necessarily just to turn around and hand it to him, but on 2nd down, maybe to use him in a pass situation. I know that they like to use him as a pass catcher down here inside the 5-yard line.
Cook was the 2nd leading receiver for the Seminoles this season. He is back in the game on 2nd and goal. Michigan creeping up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Francois into the end zone. Standing up. Touchdown, Seminoles.
Michigan came with an all-out blitz. And when you come with that blitz, you're going to be sometimes short one gap. Here's Ben Gideon. You're going to see all these guys come up. When they go this way, it's his job to get to the quarterback. He's just a step slow. And because of that, DeAndre Francois walks into the end zone.
Yeah, they almost had the perfect call for it, but Gideon just got a little sucked inside, and that erased the angle that he needed in order to make up the speed gap between he and the quarterback.
Extra point is good. 27-15. Francois says, I'll take care of this one myself. Chris, this place is almost unrecognizable from a year ago. I went to a Dolphins game last season. Try to go to a couple every season. Unrecognizable. It's like a brand new stadium. Amazing.
I played here for a whole season with the Dolphins. You're driving up, you couldn't recognize it. It looked like a skyscraper in the middle of New York City.
How'd that season go, by the way, for the Dolphins?
You had to ask. So.
Here's Jordan Lewis, and he slips down on the turf and takes a shot as he was going down at the 15.
What I really appreciate about him is his growth off the field this year, stepping up as a leader, and he wanted to be in a national championship game. As you see Davion Smith break to the second level, his goal was very clear. He wanted to go to the national championship game. That's what he wanted to do. They came into the year ranked 4th in the country, and it didn't work out, and it went south pretty quick in that Louisville game and those 2 close games against Clemson and North Carolina, and he could have packed it in. He could have said, you know, I'm going to protect myself, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to make a lot of money, but he didn't. He kept fighting. He stood up for his offensive line, which was under siege for not protecting the quarterback, and he became a leader of this team.
Here's Spate, has plenty of time, lofts one in the air, and it is caught. Amara Darboh goes up and gets it and makes the play. Working on McFadden, he brings it down.
Well, Amara Darboh has made these plays all year for Michigan. Going up against McFadden. McFadden has a chance to intercept this ball, Steve. It's right there, and Darboh just wanted it more.
Yeah, Darboh made a great play. That easily could have been intercepted. I was watching Spade from the end zone. His eyes very patient, let the play develop. Just didn't seem to have great juice on that throw to get it there. But again, Darboh bails him out.
First down and 10. Just inside the 20. Pitch to Smith. And he's hit before getting back to the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss. So Derek Hoskins made the tackle. Another tackle for loss by this Florida State defense. Their 13th of the game.
And first down has killed Michigan in the second half offensively. You get a great play there and a first down, and you have a negative play. And now you're behind the sticks. There's still a lot of time left in this game. 7 minutes, only down 12 points. They have to get 7 here.
Second and 11. At the 20. Spates thinking touchdown also. And it is caught. Touchdown. Amara Darboh. And now the second official comes in and says no. It hit the turf. So the call on the field will be no touchdown. And you can see Darboh going into his break. He slipped down before diving for the ball.
I mean, this was unbelievable effort by Darboh. You're absolutely right. He was stumbling as he came out of the break of his route. And yeah, I think that ball touched. Now the ball can touch. By definition, the ball can touch, but it cannot help him to make that reception. And Bill Lemon, yeah, I don't know if you see it different, but I think that was a good call.
No, you're right on the money. You're right. He had it in his hands as he hit the ground. Then the ball moved because of the ground. Right. He did not maintain control. Excellent job by the other official to come in, call it incomplete.
If he doesn't stumble prior to that dive, I think that's 6. Instead, tough turn of events. It's 3rd and 11. Right back and caught. J.U. Chesson that time makes the grab.
There's been a lot of balls that have been wayward for Wilton Spate in this game, but this one is right on the money.
I thought that was the best throw he's had all night. He was decisive, top of the drop, saw what he wanted, and knew he could fit it in, even though it was a very, very tight window.
Gain of 15, and you saw the determination and focus. Yeah. Great camera shot right into the eyes of Wilton Spate.
comes a time.
First and goal.
Yeah, there comes a time you just got to say, forget the rest of it. I'm going to go for it right now.
Spate's going for it right here, and it's knocked away. Looked like he tried to get Smith out of the backfield and couldn't find him.
He had him. He had exactly what he wanted. He's just so juiced up that the ball came out hot on him, and it was past Davion Smith before he could get his head around.
Second and goal. Here's Smith, more conventional way, and that'll go for another loss. Who else but DeMarcus Walker leading the Florida State party? A tackle for loss.
I would not run anywhere near number 44 if I were Jim Harbaugh. Learn your lesson. Take your medicine. Do not run it at 44 because you don't have a player on your team that can block him.
I'm not sure I'd run it at all anywhere, right? It seems like the passing game, they have something going with the passing game now. On third and goal with the injuries in that secondary for Florida State, the inexperience maybe starting to take its toll. Khalid Hill, the fullback, out to the top of your screen. Here's third and goal. Spate looking that way. Finds Hill, and he's in. Touchdown! Khalid Hill. And finally, a red zone trip that results in 6 for the Wolverines.
How often do you see a 265-pound fullback split outside the numbers and then run a wide receiver route on a little under route, catch the ball, pirouette into the end zone? I mean, this kid, Khalid Hill, is a specimen. He is going to make one NFL team very happy 2 years from now because he's decided to come back for his 5th year next year.
Extra point is good. It's the 13th touchdown of the season for Hill, who's made a living at a 1-yard touchdown. There it's an 8-yard touchdown reception. And with 5:22 left in the 4th, it's a 1-score game. What a bowl game this has been. High drama throughout, starting with the Jabrill Peppers news right before kickoff that he would not play. And Michigan has hung around and battled back. Let's see a little 4-minute offense in the last 5:22. Florida State, no, they come out passing the football. Wow. Travis Rudolph, the intended target. Stribling had the coverage.
Wow, and that ball was missed inside, which you never want to miss inside on a hitch route. And Stribling didn't lose his footing. He may have intercepted that pass and took it the other direction. The footing has been an issue tonight. We've mentioned that a couple times. Jordan Lewis, looks like they put a new field in here for this game, but it's been slick.
And it's cool. Temperatures now in the mid-50s here in South Florida. On second down and 10, that's going to be a loss. Mike McCray and Taco Charlton come up on the stop. And it'll be a 3rd down and long.
Boy, Dalvin Cook has been your best player all night, and you take it out of his hands on 1st down. I would have given it to him every time I can.
What do you do here, though? This is a tough play call, considering how young your quarterback is, the mistake he made earlier. But you also don't want to give it back to Michigan, and Michigan really gaining momentum right now.
Are you kidding, Todd? The last time they had 3rd and 22, they gave it to Cook, and he went 80.
On the counter.
And Francois is 2 for his last 15 passing. What are you going to do on 3rd and 11? To throw. Far side. Ball up in the air. Knocked away. Excellent coverage by one of the best cover corners in the nation, Jordan Lewis.
Now, this almost looked reminiscent of his big-time play against Wisconsin. Went up with one hand and intercepted it. Now, it's been an up-and-down night for Jordan Lewis. But when his team needed him, the senior came up with a big PBU late in the 4th quarter.
Lewis goes 5'11". Gavin goes 6'3".
Taco Charlton is walking off the field a little bit ginger.
Logan Tyler, only 1 punt over 38 yards tonight. He struggled in that department. His average about 41 on the season. Great pressure, nearly got there. Lewis will dive forward. And that's where Michigan will start at their own 39-yard line, trailing by 5.
Steve, that last series for Florida State took 50 seconds off the clock. 2 incomplete passes, and their defense right back on the field.
Michigan has 3 timeouts still to use, and that'll go for a loss. And a big loss on the draw to Davion Smith. DeMarcus Christmas came up and closed the hole.
Boy, and Derek Noddy, number 91. Take a look at him one-on-one on Ben Bredesen. He's the one that stopped him initially.
15 tackles for loss so far. That'll go for a gain, but nowhere near first down territory. Florida State, 15th tackle for loss. That's their season high. Picked a good game to do it in.
Wilton Speight took 3 quarters, but he is in rhythm right now. You can see confident with his reads, getting the ball out quickly, knows where to go with it. I'm interested to see if he can carry them down the field right now because he's feeling it.
Well, they got no run game, Ty. They're going to need him to.
3rd and 5. Speight steps up. Now wants to run for the first down. He's got that and much more. And he will skip out of bounds at the Florida State 40. 3:08 to go. Gain of 17.
Great job of stepping up. Watch Sweat and Burns off the edge. Both speed rushers. You got to know before you take the snap to step up. And Noddy just doesn't have enough gas left to get after Wilton Speight. A huge conversion.
Can we call that mobility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. It took you 3.5 quarters to come around. So they overcome a 2nd and 15. Evans in the game now in the backfield. He gets the football. Stays on his feet. Good second effort by Chris Evans. He's short of the first down. Bring up a 2nd down and short, just shy of the Florida State 30.
This Florida State defense has played so well in this football game, especially up front, but you got to wonder how much gas they have left in the tank. They have been on the field quite a bit in the second half. And, you know, you only have so many guys up front you can rotate. DeMarcus Walker doesn't come off the field. And Noddy just tapped out. So how much do they have left? Can they get one more stop?
Michigan going to use one of those timeouts anytime soon? 2:05 to go. Handoff. It's Evans. Gets a great block. Sideline. Evans. Gets there. Touchdown. 30 yards. Michigan, their first lead of the game with 1:57 left.
That was the 70th play of offense for Michigan, and that Florida State defensive front just broke down. I think Michigan's going to go for 2 here to make this a 3-point game. And what a comeback.
And good idea to not take a timeout by the Wolverines. Less time for Florida State now to try to come from behind. Chris Evans, a true freshman, with all the speed. 30-yard go-ahead touchdown. Now they failed on the last 2-point conversion. That came after the pick 6.
Yep. They've come out in this set. This is the same set they came out in the last 2-point conversion with Davion Smith split wide. Expect them to get the football to Amara Darboh.
Speight throwing. Wow, did that look easy? It is Darboh, in fact. And just like that, 15 Michigan points in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And for the first time all night, without Peppers, without Butt, Michigan has their first lead. A 3-point lead with 1:57 left in the 4th quarter. Seminoles football when we come back, the Capital One Orange Bowl. Welcome back to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. We had the vote for the MVP a few minutes ago.
Oh, we did?
Might have to change that. Might have to change that vote.
I didn't vote. Did you vote?
Well, Ben took care of it for you. Don't you worry.
Oh, God.
Might have to get our ballot back. Things have changed dramatically. 1:57 to go. Allen will put it in the air. And Gavin will run it out. Out across the 20. Up the middle of the field. Keith Gavin. All the way down to the 33-yard line of Michigan. They're already in field goal range.
Wow. Is there such thing as a rope-a-dope kickoff return? I mean, look at it. He doesn't know what to do. He's looking to his partner. He's looking at Kerwin Whitfield. Then Kerwin Whitfield's upset that he took the ball out. And I think Michigan relaxed just a second, and it gave Gavin a crease.
There were 6 straight touchbacks, and following that, the 66-yard return.
Sometimes it just throws off the timing enough for the cover teams.
Kerwin Whitfield.
Not that we're going to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Keith Gavin, the true freshman from Crawfordville, Florida. No Dalvin Cook here. On the run, they get it to him via the pass. He stumbles down. Thomas brought him down, but Roy Cook was headed in that direction anyway. Gain of 20 on the play.
Wow, this is what makes Jimbo Fisher such a good play caller. The right time, the right place for the screen to your best player. Perfectly executed. And if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I start thinking about taking my timeouts.
Michigan has all 3. Florida State just 2. Under 90 seconds left. Francois to throw. Back of the end zone. Nobody's home.
Wow. I'm surprised they're taking a shot to the end zone right there, because first thing you want to do, you're in good shape here. You want to be careful with the football. You don't want to take 3 points off the board. That's why I love the screen pass, but a downfield shot in the middle of the field in traffic, anything could happen.
Kicker Ricky Aguayo has been perfect inside of 39 yards this season. 11 for 11. So like you said, it should be good there. But they're not thinking 3, they're thinking 6. Francois is wrestled down by Drake Harris. Rather, Josh Metellus, I beg your pardon.
This Michigan defense has been one of the most impressive red zone defenses in college football all season. They are supremely confident that they can keep this team out of the end zone and force a field goal attempt.
This is about a 29-yard field goal from this point. 29, 30-yard field goal. Here's 3rd and 9. Florida State 2 for 11 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 42 ticks left in regulation time. Francois to throw for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Naquan Murray. Not going to settle for the field goal, the tie. Seminoles are going for the win.
Naquan Murray has been a rising star for the Florida State Seminoles and in college football. He is quick off the line of scrimmage. They got the matchup that they wanted. Naquan Murray against Jordan Lewis, and Jordan Lewis underestimated the speed of young Nudie Murray. He beat him to the football.
Second touchdown catch of the game for Murray. The first one went 92 yards. That's good for 12. Here's the extra point. It is blocked. Extra point is blocked, and it's going all the way. In a 3-point game, this will be worth 2. It's Metellus.
Wow.
How about that? What else can happen?
Wow. And 36 seconds, and Michigan has all 3 timeouts left in this game. So this game is not over. Let's go back to the touchdown first. Let's start there with a great throw and catch from Francois to Nudie Murray. There he is. If you're Michigan, you feel good. That's your best defender Jordan Lewis just gets his head around late. The ball is perfectly thrown, and Murray makes him pay.
Well, Michigan knew that Murray was the guy to cover. They wouldn't have put Lewis in the slot. But I also thought it was interesting after the block on the return, Lewis had the key block to spring him for the two-point play.
As Wormley again. Wormley's had blocks in his career. He's one of the best in college football at doing it. As you said, Metellus picks it up, and a great block on Saunders, the tight end, by Jordan Lewis. And 36 seconds is a lot of time with 3 timeouts, Steve.
Wormley blocked 2 field goals earlier. Again, Michigan, one of the best teams at blocking kicks all season. And this has come down to a 1-point game with 36 seconds left.
How often do you see that surrender cobra by a team that just went up by 3?
And that'll go out of the back of the end zone. Florida State came into this game having connected on 299 consecutive extra points. #1 in the nation. Blocked and returned for 2. Here's Michigan right back at you. Off the hands of Darbo. 31 seconds left. Marquez White had the coverage.
Thing you can't do if you're Wilton Speight is take a sack, and you're going to be under pressure because Josh Sweat, DeMarcus Walker, and company are going to be teeing off.
Speight, quick screen. Davion Smith.
And a quick timeout.
Nothing doing there. Kenny Allen's career long is 51 yards on the field goal. 26 seconds left. 3rd down. They need to get to the Florida State 33 to have a crack.
What a game. What a game. Twists and turns. 2 blue bloods. You know, so many seniors on the Michigan team playing for their last time. 18 guys in the starting lineup. What a game by Dalvin Cook. Francois taking hit after hit, kept plugging.
This is how people fall in love with the sport.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it gives you chills when you do games like this, and it's not over yet.
Whether you play it or coach it, or you bought a ticket, or you're watching at home on TV, or you're watching in the stadium on TV, like Jabrill Peppers. Third and 10. Speight, middle of the field, had a man wide open. Kakoa Crawford was wide open, and Speight sailed it over him.
Yeah, Kakoa Crawford, a true freshman, and the timing is just not there. Wilton Speight's having to let this ball go so early because of the pass rush. Give him credit. But Kakoa Crawford, just not enough reps to be on the same page with Wilton Speight. This is it. This is the game, 4th and 11.
Knocked up in the air and intercepted. And that should seal the deal for Florida State.
And Mason Cole and Eric Magnuson are beside themselves with the referee. They thought there was an offside penalty on Florida State. It looked like the left defensive end may have jumped early. Take a look right here. Brian Burns. There's DeMarcus Walker, and I think they have a point. You got an early jump, and that's what forced the early throw from Wilton Speight and forced the interception, Steve. Wow. Tough way to lose right there.
Calvin Bruton knocked it up in the air, and Carlos Becker, the true freshman, made the interception. Celebration underway in the state of Florida for Florida State.
And what a year for Jimbo Fisher. I mean, everything that he's been through. He was proud of this team coming into the game. The ups and downs, the Louisville blowout, after close losses to North Carolina and Clemson, and to fight back and to beat an outstanding Michigan team in this fashion. Give tremendous amount of credit to Jimbo Fisher. Clearly one of the top coaches in all of college football.
Think about the way Florida State finishes. They win 7 of their last 8. Conversely, Michigan will end the season with just 1 win in their final 4 games. What a football game. Just when you think you've figured things out, you realize we have no idea, and this is why we all fall in love with sports.
Oh, God. Thank you to Jimbo Fisher, Florida State, Jim Harbaugh, and Michigan for coming out here, laying it all on the line, not holding anything back, and giving us a great game to end this football season. It might be the last 2 times that we see that guy right there, DeMarcus Walker, and maybe Dalvin Cook, who I thought were the 2 most outstanding players in this game. But DeMarcus Walker was unstoppable in this football game, and all the way to the end on the very last play forces the interception when he got, let's call it, the perfect jump on the snap.
Number 44 and number 4 for the Seminoles. 15 tackles for loss by Florida State. That's a season high. Picked a good time to pull that out.
Yeah, and they held Michigan to 252 yards of offense. I mean, you're going to win a lot of football games when you do that.
And we're going to get into it. We're going to break things down. You know, in the end, the key play to the whole game, Grease, might be that Keith Gavin kick return right up the middle, and when he wasn't sure. And I still want to see Kermit Whitfield again, because watch number 8. Kermit Whitfield says, okay, now he's telling the true freshman, stay there. No, stay. No. What are you doing? That's so great. I know what I'm doing. I'm running up the middle.
Oh, my God. Kermit Whitfield is an outstanding football player, but that is one of the more memorable plays now going to be in Florida State history. Just awesome. And, of course, Florida State could have gone for the tie, but they went for the win, and they win by 1. Let's go to the field to Allison Williams for the presentation of the 2016 Capital One MVP and Orange Bowl trophies. Allison.
What a way to start the new year for these Seminoles fans and this Florida State team. Congratulations on the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl victory. We're going to start the ceremony off by presenting the trophy, and here to present that trophy is the Orange Bowl Committee President and Chair, Michael Chavis.
I just want to first say, it doesn't get any better than that. I want to congratulate the Michigan Wolverines, Coach Jim Harbaugh, on a great season and a terrific game. And it's now my honor to present the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl Championship Trophy to the Florida State Seminoles and Coach Jimbo Fisher. Congratulations, Coach.
Jimbo, what a moment, what a game for your team. As you reflect on everything it's taken to get to this point, what are you most proud of?
The character on this team. I said it before, I'm as proud of this team as any I've coached, because we lost a couple games early and people kept asking what you're playing for. This is what we're playing for. It's what we do at Florida State. The character of these guys, the leadership of the few seniors we had, and those young guys to change and take their game higher and progress and understand what it is to play at a championship level. I can't be prouder of any team I've ever coached.
In the final moments of the game, when Michigan was able to go ahead for the first time tonight, what did you tell your guys on the sideline?
2-minute, like we always do on Thursday, where we work 2-minute to death. We need to get a good return. Fortunately, that was the only kickoff return we were able to get all night. Keith Gavin, the freshman, makes that big return and comes out of there, and then we're able to keep the poise. But we just going to do 2-minute, and then we called the timeout. We said, listen, we got a field goal, but if you got the chance, make the play. And you saw 2 great, DeAndre and Nooney made a tremendous play.
So much goes into winning a game like this. What does this victory mean to you and your program?
Well, I tell you what it means. It means these seniors have now won 59 games in 5 years, the redshirt seniors. The 4-year guys have won 47. That's almost 12 a year. And more important, the legacy in which they left about how to work, how to win, how to rise up. And then for these young guys to understand the level you have to practice at and play at to play the competition. And the future's great, I promise you that.
Thank you so much, Jimbo.
Nice job, Allison Williams. Better job, Dalvin Cook. Kid who grew up some 5 minutes away from this stadium. Starred here as a high schooler. He'll be playing here as an NFLer. Tonight as a college player. He's the MVP of the Capital One Orange Bowl. And this one again will be talked about for a long, long time. And it's just the start of the New Year's Six. What great action for you tomorrow.
This was my favorite, by the way, the Kermit Whitfield. What are you doing?
He knows what he's doing. He's going to win the football game. That's what Florida State did. Brian Greasy, Topic Shane, our entire crew. SportsCenter at night. Get ready for Scott Van Pelt.